Hi there, Virgo. Thanks for joining in today. That came right out. This deck is already pre-shuffled, but let's just go ahead and give it a bit more. I sense that there is a certain focus with you guys. Your energy right now is focused on something, concentrated on something. Okay, we're going to be doing the Celtic cross today. Okay, we're going to be setting it up slightly differently though. Sorry about that. The dog wanted in. Alright, so we're going to be doing the Celtic cross. And the way I'm going to set it up here today is we're going to have the first card here is your distant past. The card after that is going to be your recent past. The card after that is going to be your current energies and current situation. The card after that is going to be the energy that can help or hinder you depending on how you sort of interpret and take that energy. The card after that is going to be your near future. The card after that is going to be your hopes or your fears. And the card after that is going to be your final outcome. Then we're going to crown the reading with 3 cards. The first being the energy that you really harnessed that helped lead you to where you are now. The next card is your environmental energies card, kind of describing the frame of energy around you as you move forward in your journey this month at this period of time. And following that, we're going to have the third card of the most likely potential outcome. And I like to think of that card sort of as the energetic pathway that you're moving towards, given these other energies at hand. So without further ado, let us begin. Distant past, recent past, current situation. What could help or hinder you? Your future, hopes and fears, final outcome. The energy that you've been harnessing that has helped lead you to your current state. The environmental energies and the most likely outcome. Okay, so let us take a look at, and let's actually flip the deck over to see what we have at the bottom of the deck as a sort of thematic card for this reading. So, and remember this 10 of Wands popped out while shuffling. Okay. So you have a pretty balanced elemental representation here. You have swords, you have wands, you have cups. Sorry, also wands here. Wands. You have Pentacles. Okay. And you have 2 major arcana. Okay. So it looks like there is, right, a lot going on. There's perhaps a lot on your mind. That's the feeling I'm getting. Maybe you're kind of being pulled in a few different directions, right? Emotionally, physically, mentally. And just in terms of your physical output with this Wands energy, right? This is the card, and this came out for a few signs actually. This is the card that I kind of see as the just exhausted efforts, right? Just you've put in your 10 wands, right? You've done what you could kind of energy, right? You've done it, and you know, what comes of it comes of it, but you're kind of at this stage where you're in a way done. You're done with this, whatever you've been efforts towards. So sorry about that, guys. What is it? So this, right, there's some situation that has taxed you, right, heavily just in the sense of what you've been giving towards it. Okay, and the 10 is a culminating number. So these efforts have culminated, and they've kind of reached a point where you have, in a way, no more to give, right? You feel depleted in a way of your vigor. Okay, so you have the 6 of Wands, you have the 4 of Wands, and you have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so numerically speaking, right, and we'll get into the finer details of it, but just because we're on this topic here of what popped out and probably what is of prominence in this spread and in this current energetic situation, right? Regarding the wands, it's going from a 6, right, of an already sort of, this gives me the sense that it's sort of this desolate situation, right, where it's not quite a 10, it's a 6, it's building, right? The efforts that you've put in are building. You still kind of had hope, maybe, and this is in your recent past position. So perhaps this situation, right, in your recent past was something that you kind of still had hope for, right, but still wasn't producing, right, the results that you may have wanted. Okay. So when we go down to a 4, right, I kind of see this as like the mind's eye, right? It's kind of like an opening, an awakening. This 4 of Wands is, in a way, in gridlock, right? In a way, barricading the entrance into this new world, right? This awakening, this realization, this gateway. I really see this sort of as a gateway, right? The portal to a new world and understanding. And so when we move down, right, in number, when we move down in number from the 6 to 4, it's almost as if, right, there is some sort of awakening, right? These wands are kind of being removed, okay? And you're seeing the situation for what it is. And before I get ahead of myself, this is in your hopes or your fears category, okay? But just in terms of the energy of this wand situation and how it's progressing kind of down the line here, this is the outlook of that wands, that fire energy represented in the reading. Now, so let's jump right into it, right? You start in your deep past with the Ace of Swords. Okay, and a sword is representative of air, the air element, which is representative of the intellectual mind, the analytical mind, right? The logical approach to things, right? Even conversation, right? Swords and air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, they represent the spoken and the written word, right? It's the conversationalist, right? So with the Ace of Swords, there is some sort of there is a sort, you know, there could have been a new beginning in terms of communication about something, right? There could have been, and it perhaps could have been in a way that kind of shook things up, shook the status quo up, right? And let me just reference this pamphlet to see. So now, typically swords, right, they're a sharper energy, okay, whereas the cups, they're emotional, right? They're our inner self, the vulnerable part of us, the intuitive part of us, the more sentimental part of us, whereas the sword is the cut to the chase, right? Sort of energy. So in something, right, there could have been this sense of cutting to the chase, this sense of finding clarity about a certain situation, right? And it could have been through a certain conversation, or a communication, right, of something. So we will come back to this as we move forward and gain insight on the other elements at play and their energies. So moving forward into the recent past, you have, as we sort of explored, the Six of Wands. Okay, so perhaps I'm seeing this as a situation as it unfolds, right? There was perhaps a situation that was clarified in some way. Something was clarified, right? Maybe in a rather abrupt, brash, jarring way, maybe even, right? But there was clarity with something, right? And a sort of freshness and newness and a beginning to that sort of that clarity and that understanding of a certain situation. So moving from that kind of energy, right, which is a very early stage energy, a very new energy with the Ace, and moving to the Six of Wands, I really get this sense of trials and efforts, okay? In a way, maybe to make amends. I'm sensing that. this effort, this continued effort to make amends, a hope for this rainbow, this happiness, this contentness, finally, right? Because if you look at both of these cards, right? Bandit, hey, relax. If you look at both of these cards, right, they are kind of, no one's frolicking here in a way, right? You do have the rainbow, but where are the people, right? It's not like the Four of Wands, but there's another card, I think it's the Ten of Cups, where there's in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, it depicts, you know, this happy couple and family with this rainbow above them and these 4 stakes in the ground that signify stability and whatnot. So you have the rainbow, right? And it's in the sky, but it's looming over this sort of dark situation that is very much, in a way, like representative of this backdrop with this Ace of Swords. So there is perhaps some correlation between this new beginning, right, or this situation, and what it's sort of progressed into. Okay? It's something that you're trying to still have hope for, or that you were in your recent past, right? Something that you were kind of moving along with to, you know, out of faith or sheer hope. But with this card, I feel like you're exhausted, right? And moving into the Moon card, I feel like very much so there is, again, like this mystery to this situation, this feeling of a standstill, right? If you look at all these cards together, it's darkness, 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 darkness. You do have the moon, right? You do have this rainbow, but they're still sort of attached to darkness in some shape or form, right? However, with the Moon card, right, this is a major arcana, which is, it's significant. A major arcana card is signifying that this, whatever stage you're at, whatever position this is representing, is one of a transformational change to your being, to your, in your life. Okay, so this energy that you're stepping into with the moon is prominent, and in terms of the approach you're taking, right, is very much now intuitive. Whereas maybe in the past it was more logical, it was more communicative, right? But when you see that your efforts are not really reaping the harvest and the fulfillment that you wish for, right? You're turning to your intuition. But still in the darkness, right? There is still this darkness, right? That you're not able to completely see clearly, right? In spite of this sword in your distant past. So, and because this is the Ace of Swords, this gives me the sense of this being clarity, but like a very brief clarity, not like a deep and long-lasting rooted clarity, right? It's like just a flash of clarity, right? But that perhaps doesn't sustain itself, right, enough to bring forward the kind of results you want from your efforts that you're putting in this situation. That's what I'm kind of sensing. Okay, so now you're kind of perhaps wondering how to move forward with this situation. Okay. And the card that you have in your helping or hindering position, right? I kind of see this as the advice card. Okay. The energy that you're suggested to take on is the sort of renewal of emotion, the Ace of Cups. Okay. So you have two aces in the spread, right? You have the Ace of Swords and you have the Ace of Cups. So just fresh starts, but in two different ways, right? A fresh approach, but taking two different perspectives. One being more emotional, more vulnerable, more sensitive. Okay. And also more intuitive, because cups are water. Water is fluid, intuitive, spiritual. So I'm seeing that this can be a suggestion, right, of two things. One is to step away from this situation that has not been working, where you're left wondering kind of, what do I do at this point, right? I've put in my all. What do I do? What's the right thing to do? What's right, right, right? There is no right, but what's right? Well, what, how do I move forward? Right? What should I do? And so this could be read, right? I'm reading this in one way, right? Maybe for some people as the need to leave this behind and start anew in a new emotionally fulfilling proposition or situation. This is beckoning for some sort of revival of your emotional fulfillment and self, even self-understanding, right? Just the ace itself is the offering of a cup, right? And this could be the offering of a cup from someone, or the offering of a cup from yourself to yourself, right? The offer to reacquaint yourself with your more emotional side. Especially next to the moon, it's really getting in touch with your intuition, your intuitive side, right? But in a way that is almost optimistic with the ace, right? It's new, it's fresh, it's young, it's full of happiness, right? There is a jovial energy to this card, which is so contrasted by these cards. And even this card, which is the energy that has been leading you to this energy. So these cards are contrasted in color and in element. Well, this is the Four of Cups, but element in terms of how the symbols are portrayed, right? This cup is very different looking than these 4 cups, right? Or even these 3 cups, very different. So there is this asking, right, for a new sort of beginning in terms of what emotionally fulfills you. So this could be, right, the offering to start over in a more taking a more emotional approach, emotionally open approach, rather than this kind of approach of the Ace of Swords, right, which wasn't really leading. It was kind of futile efforts in a way, it seems. So that could be one thing, right? And this could be an opportunity coming forward, right? The offering of a new start, right? Or the offer of something that really seems to be emotionally promising. Okay, so you can harness this energy. This is, in a way, what can be helping you, right? Should you take it on. Then moving on to your near future, you have the Three of Pentacles. So we have Pentacles energy in your near future, and we have the Pentacles energy at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this could be in regards to your finances, your career, your success in the world, right? Your tangible, the reapings of tangible reward, right? You plant your seeds, you harvest, you get something in return. Okay, so, but just peeking under the deck, right? Under this last card, you do have the Nine of Cups. And if you just look at these 3 cups in a row, there is a lot of water undertones under this card right here. And these two have a moon prominent. And you have a moon here too, and here. So there's something very emotional. There's definitely an emotional undertone to whatever is taking place, right? Your emotions are involved in this. Okay. Either in this venture, in this situation. Okay, it's not just, I don't get the feeling that it's purely business. I don't get that, right? Even though customarily the Pentacles are representative of financial matters, of your career, right? But I don't get that sense that it is just purely that. I get the sense that it is somehow related to this emotional element, right? That comes along with it in some shape or form, in some way. So let's come back to this card here. In your hopes and your fears, you have this Four of Wands. There is this sort of coming back to the element of wands, right? That perhaps you're afraid of, that you're fearing. There's this coming back to this old situation that you're afraid of here. And maybe you're afraid of seeing it for what it is, right? Maybe this situation of wondering and pondering and ruminating and digging deep to find the answer, sort of, right? The thing you're concentrating so much on, right? Perhaps is your own fear of seeing what you don't want to see, maybe. Right? You don't want to admit this situation. You don't want to give up on it, right? You had hope. You don't want to give up on it. You're trying to see through it. You're trying to see the potential through it, right? And there's a message coming quite clearly now to me. In light of this, right? In light of this, perhaps because this is in your help or hindrance position, right? So perhaps if you take on this new approach to this situation, right? Perhaps it's asking you not to take this approach of this Ace of Cups. Perhaps. Because this can be the help or hindrance. So I think this will resonate differently for different people, but I sense that there is something that you don't want to see, that you want to still renew in a way, right? Especially with this moon sandwiched in between the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands, right? It's like you're trying to be optimistic about this situation, whatever it is, even in spite of this exhausted basket of wands, all this effort. Interesting. You have a lot of threes. A lot of threes. The Emperor is the number 3. You have the 3 of Swords. You have the 3 of Cups. You have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. 3 is a stable number. 3 is, it forms the triangle, and that's such a strong shape, right? It's very supportive and very fixed. And I keep seeing this sustained, like you're trying in so many different ways, right? To revive something, to keep something alive, to keep something going. That's what it really seems like. With this Ace of Swords, right? Trying in taking a logical approach to the situation, then finding that it's not reaping the rewards and moving on to perhaps this kind of approach. The Ace of Cups. Then moving forward into your current your near future situation is this 3 of Pentacles, trying to somewhat stabilize, find and seek stability in this situation, right? In a tangible way. Almost like seeking solace, right? So there is this is an early stage, right, of trying to plant seeds and harvest. So there is this very early energy sprinkled throughout the reading, right? From the very distant past to the energies that kind of lay at your feet that you can work with, that you can, as you decide, as you can or cannot work with, so that you will or will not work with. And this sort of now moving into this more tangible terrain of how to manifest this stability or this happy home or ending. But still there is this hope or fear, right? Of this even reminder, right, of wasted efforts. And perhaps seeing the situation for what it is with true clarity, with more clarity, but the clarity that maybe is not the clarity that you want to admit to or to see. Because when I look at this card, I really get the sense of, these 4 wands are systematically, deliberately, very proportionally aligned, right? someone did this. This isn't just a throwing of the sticks on the ground. This is somebody very deliberately aligned these wands in such a way that it's almost like a barricade to this outside world, to this freedom, to this awareness, right? To this color. And so it's almost, I really see this as like the prisoner of the mind, right? I see this as like the mind, and this is the eye, and you're looking out from it. But these wands, right, blocking your movement forward or your true vision, it's obstructing your true perception of the situation. This is an illusion, right? These wands are not really blocking you. You can move right through them into this new existence and this new being and stage in your life and perception. But these wands are still there. They're held there. Okay. Moving on to your future position, you have the Empress. But before we get to your final card, let's actually move up into the energy that you've been stepping into and really harnessing, right, as of late, which has led you to this moon, this current position. And this has been the Four of Cups. With this little old pack rat sitting atop them. Kind of like blocking them from usage, right? These Four Cups can't really be picked up and drink. So it's almost as if these Four Cups are somewhat empty. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's almost as if these Four Cups are empty. Yeah. And especially with this moon on top of it, right? Especially with this moon. Sorry, this moon on the bottom of it. These two moons are very much speaking to each other, right? There is an association. And it's almost as if, right? This, I'm seeing this as a lack of emotional fulfillment. It's almost as if this lack of emotional fulfillment has led you to this stage of now approaching and handling this situation. So this lack of emotional fulfillment, right, could perhaps have pushed you to dig deeper, right? Dig deeper, right? The moon is a symbol of mystery, right? The unknown, of night, of not knowing, but intuitively, right? Tapping into something, tapping into your inner reservoir of wisdom and spiritual knowledge or intuition. So I'm feeling, right, that this situation, right, is somewhat overlaid with this situation. There is sort of the answers, you're seeking the answers, right, to fill these cups, to revive this emotionally lacking situation. But we have the Three of Cups. And let me say this, you've been contributing to this energy, right? You've been bringing forward this energy of this Four of Cups, right? Almost like putting in, right? Expecting this Four of Cups. But, and 4 is a stable number, right? Yet again, 4 is a stable number, but in this situation, it's like there is this lack of stability, right? This wanting of stability, this wanting of the Four of Cups, right? And so digging deeper, right? To try and remain hopeful, to find a way, right? The wanting of this Ace of Cups situation, this revival. But in your environment, you have the Three of Cups. And this is moving from a 4 to a 3, right? The digression of this emotional energy at hand. So I'm getting the sense that you're putting in 4, right? You're putting in more effort than those in your environment or someone in your environment will. Right? I'm getting that environmental effort could be made, right? The effort by those around you could be made, but just not at the level, right? That you are expecting or putting forward. So, and right below this Three of Cups, you are, this is your environment, this is you, right? In your near future. So with you have the Three of Pentacles, that's kind of the energy that you're bringing forward. And then in your environment, it's the Three of Cups. So there is almost like this mismatch, right, of elements. Like you're now trying to make this stable, taking this kind of approach perhaps, or solidifying this situation in this way, right? You've been trying with this approach, with the Four of Cups. You're moving into this Three of Pentacles, right? You're trying from so many different angles, right? To try and find this homeostasis, this fulfillment, this happiness. But still, not only do they bring 3 cups instead of 4 or 5 or more, but they bring cups, right? Whereas you're now bringing pentacles. This is serious effort. This is sustained effort. This is you digging in the soil, planting seeds, wishing that this will harvest one day. In the long run, in the long term. But this Three of Cups is more of a lighter energy, right? It's not like the Two of Cups with 2 lovers. It's the 3. It's camaraderie. It's this lightness, right? The cups are kind of in, they're shadowed even, right? And these three birds are not even looking at them. They're not sharing the cups. They're not drinking from them. They're looking off into the sunset, right? Just enjoying each other's company. So there's this sort of lightness, right? This more friendship type of energy that maybe is not entirely receptive to how you're seeing things, or your anticipations or your wants for this situation, right? Because I feel that you are intensely focused on it. You've been putting a lot of effort into it, right? But for your environment to come through with just a Three of Cups, is almost bringing a lightness to something that you've made to be quite significant and important on many different levels for you. So there's a mismatch of understanding, maybe a mismatch of being on the same page with something or someone, right? A mismatch of what someone's putting in, what someone's getting out, and what the other person's putting in, what the other person's getting out. This can be for a relationship, between people, or a situation, a business that you're investing in even, right? But I do get that it is related to something emotional yet again. And when we have the Three of Swords in this most likely energetic pathway that we're moving towards, given these energies, given what we've put into it, given the opportunity at hand, right? Given this energy that we're moving into in our near future, given our hopes and our fears, everything all together, right, is leading to this sort of, it is stalemate. This situation where not only have you exhausted your efforts towards the situation, but you're now being left with this sadness. Okay, and when it's right next to this Three of Cups, I don't feel like this situation that you're contributing to is going to bring you the happiness that you're looking for. And you have a 3 and a 3, right? Almost saying like this can lead to this, right? And this is sandwiched in between these two cards and right next to this card. And right atop this card, the 4 of Wands. The not wanting to see the reality of the situation. So this could be saying to move on from this situation, move on from this old situation, right? Because the 4 to the 3 to the 3 of Swords is kind of leading to a place of what is the word? Yeah, of some sort of heartbreak in some way, right? Heartbreak. But definitely not the emotional satisfaction that you're looking for, right? This, I don't feel, is going to give you the emotional satisfaction that you're looking for. Okay, so and I will say this, with this card on the bottom of the deck, right, and below this, sorry, above this Nine of Cups, I think is very much speaking to, especially with this Three of Pentacles, right, switching up to a 6, is very much this wanting to invest your energy in something that you believe will, that you believe you will reap the benefits from someday down the line, and the emotional benefits especially. Okay. Then you have the Empress as your final card, your final outcome card, which is interesting because we have the Moon in the current situation and we have the Empress in the final. Again, a 3. Okay. And also a major arcana, and also with a moon. Also with a tree, right, as a symbol. Except this is one tree, right? And immediately the sense I'm getting is that you will be taking an empowered approach with this situation, right? You may still be in the dark about it. You may still not have all the answers, but this moon is no longer yellow. It's no longer central, right? You're not afraid to stand alone now and be the empress of your world, male or female, you know, it's not in terms of gender necessarily, so. But just taking on this, almost this very deep, nurturing, mothering, emotional presence, right, within yourself, for yourself, right? I see this very much as self-reliance, right, rather than trying to, you know, make something really come through with someone else or something else. You're now really taking the stand of, I'm going to stand on my own and I'm going to be my own strength and stability. Whereas this is very much other energy, heartbreak from other situations and other people, right? The companionship from other people, right? The working on something tangible that you think will lead you to reaped rewards and emotional rewards down the line. But really, the Empress stands alone. She is the Empress, right? And so she is her own strength. And this is a card of the number 3, but a stable 3. So this could even be, I'm reading this as this could even be going from your near future to your future, to the final outcome. This could even be, right, a refocusing of your efforts from this situation to this situation, of focusing on a different project, right? Something different that's going to give you this emotional fulfillment. That could be, right? Which then leads you to this self-empowerment, right? This stability, this true stability, right? This is strong stability because it's a major arcana card, right? It's a transformational, strong, magnanimous energy, right? And it's very, sorry about that, guys, the phone died. So I was saying that this is a very strong energy, a strong position to step into, right? This Empress is not afraid to stand alone, right? Whereas in the Moon situation, you have two trees, right? In the middle stands the Moon. Here the Moon is not yellow, right? It's not the focal point. The Empress is sort of, yeah, standing in the dark, right? But embracing the night, right? Really with its roots firmly in the ground, right? And still with color, right? The focus on the Moon card, your current situation, is so much on the Moon, so much on finding the answers. Whereas the Empress, right? She is her own answer. She makes her own answers. She determines, right, for herself what she, in a way, how she stands and where she stands. She knows for herself, right? She doesn't need to wonder. Whereas this Moon is very much in the center of the card, in between these two trees, right? Signifying two people even. That's what I'm reading with this card. Two situations, two people, trying to find the truth between these two, right? Trying to bring these two together, right? This hope is what is sort of bringing these two otherwise separate, tall trees together. Whereas this Empress tree is just, she's the Empress, right? She's fertile, she's glowing in the dark, right? And she's confident ultimately, right? She doesn't need this other tree. She's just standing there with her roots in deep, right? So there's very much this empowering position that you're going to step into, right? One that is transformational, right? One that is true stability with this 3 in the Major Arcana suit. Definitely, I think this is empowering, right? So I think that your perception of this situation is going to change a bit, where you're self-empowered about it, right? You may not have all the answers, but you have your groundedness, right? Within yourself. That's what I really feel. Okay. And so you could have been contributing to this, right? In your near future, you will be contributing to this sort of stability, right? One that will give you this ultimate satisfaction. Perhaps. That's what that sort of the 6 of Pentacles is speaking to, and the 3 of Pentacles is speaking to, right? This sort of transformation of stability, but in a very grounded, reliable, stable sense, in a very profound sense. Okay. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure to read for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. Please do let me know how this resonated for you in the comments. I'm always curious to know. And yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to reading for you guys next month and perhaps even sooner. So stay tuned and I'll see you then. Bye.